top to bottom just a boring band, just a mediocre, boring band that's hard to even really make fun of. Like, the only real thing you can make fun of is the song with what's his name from Nickelback?
Chad Kroeger.
Him and Josie Scott from Saliva. Chad Kroeger and Josie Scott, the song off of Spider-Man. That's a real fun song to make fun of.
Yeah.
But the best way to make fun of them is that person who edited like all their songs together like 5 or 10 years ago and just showed how it's the same song over and over. That's the way you make fun of them, because it's nothing. It's just all nothing.
I do have to say that their cover. So this year they did a cover of The Devil Went Down to Georgia that absolutely fucking shredded. Like way better than the Korn version.
What are you saying?
I swear to fucking God. I'm going to play a minute, just a few. You won't believe this is Nickelback. I promise.
Didn't Charlie Daniels just die this year, Brian?
That's why they did it. That's why they did it. Here you go. Listen to this cover.
Disrespectful.
Listen to this. This is Nickelback.
Nickelback ain't going away.
This is. I swear, this is Nickelback.
No, this is so butt. This does not shred. This farts, dude. This farts.
No, it does not fart.
Sit your old ass in that chair right there and let me show you how the fuck it's
done. Come on, that's better than that is not that bad, really.
Dude, I'm gonna listen to this after this episode. That's how bad it is. I'm gonna make a point of listening to it again before I go to bed tonight.
Yeah. I mean, we got to hit that in the 2010s. We will come back to this argument when we hit the 2010s, because I think you're being very unfair.
Put a pin in the Dragon Force Nickelback cover of Devil Went Down to Georgia.
You're being unfair to Nickelback right now. That's shredded. That fucking thing goes, man. Yeah. Oh, I can't believe I'm being owned here because I liked something. You know,
I'm crying.
I know. Everybody's having a good laugh. But when the people that listen to the show are sitting in their car being like, Brian's right, that'll make me feel good. That's how I'm going to sleep tonight. You know?
How you speak on trap music and never seen a crack user? You say geeks, you mean Star Trek and app users. I say geeks, I mean arm tracks and smack shooters. Respect both in the streets, we just a pack of losers. It turned dope connoisseurs into package movers. Jeff Bezos O's moving packs on computers. When your phone get to slapping like a bad abuser, your phone tap out in folks, I don't mean Larry Hoover. Just like they phone tap the folks when they got Larry Hoover. Even if you speak in code, they know how you maneuver. They anticipate your moves like they know the future. Trying to fuck you with your crew like they knew Kama Sutra. So I'm chillin' in the cut, I might need a suture. Trying to get a few bucks, I might be a booster. Run up in your spot, but we not copping shit. Drop it on the block when we shop. Live, come cop a gift. Cops say they got me on a watch list. Well, watch this. You can suck a big fat cock, bitch. We cock shit. Aim, squeeze. You know how I stuck pig bleed. And now he can't breathe with his neck under my knee. I'm from the north with an F, bitch. Since a child I've been depressed. I'm living life reckless with a death wish. Going at they neck, I leave them headless. Hollows going through their chest and now they breathless. Bullets slicing through your chicken, now she breastless. I heard they try to sleep on me, but now they restless. I ain't really wanna play with you, my hood full of them grave diggers. Everyone wanna be gang members, so you gotta go and hit a stain with them and catch the cases it came with them. Get locked and then play the victim, turn state and then play the witness. Yeah, you in the game, but you play it different. DA say you will not be put away if you start snitching. Evidence looking lackluster anyway, so they start fishing. Looking for anything and anything they can say against you. Whole hood got trust issues, so they start pulling out pistols. That's how everyone become a victim of the system, besides all of the rich ones with rich sons. Shit's dumb, I'm done with the humdrum. Beat the case, rump a pum-pum. A motherfucker need a lump sum, never been a sucker or a dum-dum. Cheerleading ass bitches, all you need is some pom-poms. Make God be a witness, then I hit his ass with the you ain't seen not a holy father, keep your lips sealed, or Christ getting iced like I just signed a big deal, you get it? Rappers get signed and buy a crucifix, and if Jehovah turn witness, then we gon' do him in. You ain't seen not a holy father, keep your lips sealed, or Christ getting iced like I just signed a big deal, you get it? Rappers get signed and buy a crucifix, and if Jehovah turn witness, then we gon' do him in. North.
This is I totally forgot to play this. So
a song by John Snyder called I Hate Cancer. And he starts off, I hate cancer. Sorry. And we all start, a lot of people started laughing. And by the end of it, I was weeping.
He was so good. He was really great.
He was on Dukes of Hazzard, and he talked about how, what happened with Alec Baldwin, because he was, he's around guns every day. Well, on movie sets and TV sets, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, Nip Tuck, all these shows he did. And he said it must have been a Trump supporter that went on the set and put bullets in that gun just so Alec Baldwin would be a murderer and kill people. No, he didn't say that. It's all such bullshit. Have you heard that yet? Oh, no. They must have put guns in that bullet or bullets in that gun. And
everything bad that happens in the world happens because a Trump supporter did it.
Yes. John Snyder did not say that it was a joke.
Is it playing? Hey, Street Fight friends and family, guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome to the show. We're here on twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio every single Wednesday night. Brian and I doing Street Fight Radio podcast. It's been around for 11 years now, and we'll continue to go on strongly into the future as long as we have support and help from listeners like you. So come join. We're trying to get rid of all the hierarchical bullshit to create a more equally distributed world, flattened a little bit in the way that we like, and doing a lot more for the working people. Actually, having the working people doing a lot less is the goal of Street Fight Radio. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby. We are the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. We've been doing it, like I said, 11 years. And then on Sunday, we'll take calls from you. If you want to talk shit about what we're saying tonight, just me and Brian on Wednesdays. But on Sunday, you can chime in 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. Come find us. You can also watch and chat along, like I said, twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio. I am having a good start of the show because my kids spilled a beer all over the laptop like 45 minutes before we're supposed to start, and it didn't break or anything like that. So that was a blessing from above.
that does sound like some real Jesus stuff happening.
I was
for you.
pretty nervous, but then I remembered that I had the protection plan, and I'm like, thank God I did this. This is why, because I know how horribly how much disregard I have for the things that I own, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and also like you just know that somebody could spill some. I mean, laptops are so fucking like they just get spilled on. That's just the way they are, And
Yeah.
I haven't spilled anything on this one, but I spilled stuff on the other one, and I try to be really careful. I keep the caps on all my drinks, and then
Right.
now that I'm a cap drinker, I don't drink out of glasses anymore at all.
Okay.
Like I've totally quit drinking out of glasses. I only drink out of bottles, the Cum Gatorade bottle or my hydro flask. I only drink because you never
was gonna say,
spill anything. With those two
I was
things.
just hoping you weren't going to all disposable containers.
No, I wish that. Well, you can buy the Gatorade in powder form, but like it's I don't know.
That's not the same.
I don't think I'd get it right. Somebody told me on Twitter one day that they buy the Gatorade in a bottle and then they also buy the powder and then put the powder in the bottle for a super powered flavor.
Flavor boost.
Yes, it's a super powered flavor. It's like that's a person who fucking loves flavor, man. And I appreciate that. I like people that are doing science like this out there.
Yeah, throw some tang on that lemon lime. Throw some more on there. I want to wake up. I want to be woke the fuck up by this drink.
Yeah. Those are the people that eat those Packy chips. You know what I'm talking about?
The one chip challenge people.
Or even like the fucking whole bag of chips.
You don't fuck with you don't fuck with Packies at all?
I don't fuck with any chips at all. Basically, sometimes I'll eat a Dorito or two, but I don't eat chips ever.
Wait, that's not allowed?
Everybody's heard me say it. I like French fries. I don't care for chips. I like French fries.
But what about like for a French fry on the go? Like that you can just throw in your cargo pants pocket.
Oh,
that's chips. That's called chips.
They sell French fries all over the place.
That's true. The gas
get
station.
A French fry anytime.
Everywhere has French fries now. You're right. That we live in a world where you can get birthday cake flavor and anything all the time, and French fries all the time.
Yeah. So when people that eat those because like Flamin' Hot Cheetos was like a really cool, exciting thing with me when it first came out, but I never bought them because, like I said, I don't buy chips. I don't buy any kind of stuff like that. And then when I finally tried it, I was like, this is extremely unpleasant to eat. To me, like I don't think this sounds good at all. Or tastes good. Yeah. So
I like a flavor explosion. I like a big flavor explosion.
Well, yeah. I mean, anything that like has like a word like jacked or max on it, I'm gonna try it eventually.
Sure.
Because I need to know what the jacked flavors are.
How high? How high does it go?
I was at the store. I'm at the store every day, but I was at the store recently, and DiGiorno has gotten wildly out of pocket with what they're selling now.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. They sell, get this, and it is a goddamn frozen pizza. This isn't getting delivered to your fucking house, dude. This is a frozen pizza, and they're selling motherfucking selling Eggs Benedict pizza.
Brunch, baby. Get up like a tall boy of Natty Light, and that's brunch.
It's actually Eggs Benedict inspired pizza, is what it's
yeah. They're not doing any real egg products. Maybe is it vegan?
No, but the box actually says flaky croissant crust, scrambled eggs, and hollandaise style sauce.
Yeah.
Which is like hollandaise style sauce.
Mayonnaise. It's just mayonnaise with ketchup, probably.
Yeah. I saw that at the store and like they have a picture of it on the box, and I was like, this is the most foul thing that they've made. This is like where it's gone entirely too far.
The toaster scramblers, dude. The toaster strudel scramblers that have the egg and the cheese and the sausage or bacon. Them joints are the as low as you can go. But I do like hollandaise style. That's like when they always say like avocado dip. Like instead of guacamole or guacamole style dip, because it's just like green mayonnaise with some taco seasoning.
I love it. That's one thing I do have to say about the United States government that I like, and it isn't even necessarily what they do, but it's like how you have to be honest on your packaging, and then like the advertising industry, which I also find absolutely fucking hilarious, having to get around that stuff. I've always loved that shit. Like I love the idea that you can't say hollandaise sauce because it's not hollandaise sauce.
Yeah, or that you can be taken to court if your cookie isn't chewy enough.
Yeah, or like the fucking diet words for like stuff that's healthy.
Yeah.
You know? Like stuff that's supposed to be healthy at the store, like I don't know, Snackwells is something that's always blown my mind, that like people buy Snackwells and they're like, these are pretty healthy, and it's like they're cookies. I mean, just eat regular cookies. Just I don't know. I don't understand. It's coming from a guy that only does diet drinks. So I guess that is kind of one thing. I only drink diet drinks.
Snackwells is basically like poison, like industrial poison, just because people were so obsessed with like this idea that like if you ate fat, you became fat. So then like that's why fat-free everything in the 90s. And also Snackwells accomplished this thing where you could like eat the whole box of them. I think that's really what it was, is that they were lower in calorie kind of overall. So instead of having like 8 Oreos, you could just house a whole box of Snackwells instead.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, that is something I've been looking into.
Fills a hole in the market.
Yeah, I've been Googling a lot of like how to binge eat healthily, which I know you can't really do, but
that's a misnomer.
I'm a total binge eater. I'm just crazy. I at night I just can't stop. And then the motherfuckers are like, have you thought about trying carrots? And I'm like, no, that's absolutely not going to work for me to go downstairs and eat baby carrots till my tummy won't stop. So I'm having trouble with that. But I did try something new yesterday. For the first time in my life, I did yoga. I went to a yoga class.
Okay. Interesting.
My wife
just plain old like vanilla yoga.
Vinyasa flow.
Okay.
Vinyasa flow.
Okay, I get down with that.
Which, yeah, my wife has been doing yoga classes for years with work, and her and my daughter are on the gym account now, and there's a yoga class at the gym at 8:00 on Tuesdays, which I do not have an excuse. Like, so if she says, do you want to do this yoga class on Tuesday? I would just have to say no, because I don't really have an excuse of why I can't do something at 8:00 on a Tuesday. Like, it's not in the morning. It's like kind of a perfect time for me. So I went, and I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm a yoga guy. I think I've decided I think I'm gonna try Pilates next.
Oh God, that's not even close to easier.
I don't want it. I don't need it to be easier. I need it to be less like, or less like the person saying, like, imagine yourself as a bud on a tree, just twisting and twisting to try to get out and be ready for the spring. We're in the springtime.
Sure.
And it's like,
you're uncomfortable feeling soft.
It's not even soft. It just
you're
feels
being
like
graceful.
hippie. Yeah. If I am lifting, somebody in the chat said just lift instead, Brian. I do lift every day, or 5 or 6 days.
You shouldn't lift every day.
Yeah, I didn't want.
Now here's a million people that are going to tell you shouldn't lift every day, and that's true.
I do not.
Rest is really how you build muscle. It's rest.
Yeah.
It's not doing a lot. It's rest.
I lift 5 days a week, so but I don't know, man. The music, I didn't like the music at all. I thought that was fucking weird.
You need to look for DDP yoga in town.
It might be like a lot of people told me that they do DDP yoga and that it like got better for they were able to get more out of it than like a regular yoga class, and the thing is, like, that's probably true in that, like you said, you don't want to feel soft, and that is probably technically true, you know, but it's not something that my inner voice says to myself. If that makes sense to you. Like, I'm not saying, "Oh, this is soft. This is bad." You know what I mean? This is making me feel soft. It just like in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, come on, man. I knew it was going to be like this." Yes, it's Diamond Dallas Page. So, I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, I don't know. It unlocks the magic of the body.
The lady was doing some wild moves too, dude. I call them moves, yoga moves.
Right.
She did the Birds of Paradise move, which is wild.
Cool.
Also, Vinyasa Flow is doing push-ups at a point.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do push-ups. I don't like doing push-ups. Because
you have to do push-ups, bro.
But I can't.
That's how you get a chest.
I know, but I'm working to get strong enough to be able to do push-ups. I'm not strong enough yet. I can't push myself up. So
okay.
It's just, I don't know. I need flexibility, so I'm going to figure something out. And I might even go to yoga next week. Today is the day I said no more yoga.
I have
right?
I have an answer.
My mind.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I have an answer for you, but I'm not going to on the show unless they pay me because they charge a lot of money, but I have an idea for you.
Okay. So I'm a yoga guy now.
You are. You did it once?
Yep. You're a big yoga guy now. So
you sent me I've been thinking about, you sent me that picture of that guy peeing all over himself.
That was cool. Yeah.
I don't know if that was just a Twitter thing or where Twitter's the only place you're allowed to show like people doing naked stuff. They couldn't make it on TikTok or Instagram. So there's someone uploaded a video of a dude so drunk at the bar. He's laying across 3 chairs on his back, completely asleep, and like just pissing straight in the air. He's got his dick out and he's peeing straight into the air. Wait, but he's doing this thing. He's like pinching his shaft and it keeps building up the pressure and he releases it and it just like flies in the air.
Yeah.
And it reminded
me secret.
And he didn't know where he was at. Like he was just like, he had no idea where he was at.
Yeah. I peed myself not in San Diego, by the way. Not that picture is water. But I remember in high school I was drunk and I pissed the bed. And like I woke up, I don't know, I would say 20 seconds into peeing the bed and just was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna finish. You know what I mean? I think that's where his mind was. He was just like, I gotta piss. I'm not gonna get up and walk. I'll clean it up later or something. No. But he's in a bar, so
yeah, once you start peeing, you're not gonna like put it back in. It's like, uh-oh, I just woke up. Yeah, I guess I peed. But you know what it reminded me of is that like when we were a teenager, I had this friend Ryan, and he would, when we were taking a piss in a public stall, he would squeeze his dick and let it like stop and start, and it would start making like a choop 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 choop. Like he would do it really fast.
Yeah.
And we would go to the movies and he would do it and then we would all start doing it. And one time this guy just yelled, "What the fuck is happening?" Because everybody's pee was starting and stopping like it was a music note.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to try to post this in the chat for the people that are watching and see if it'll go up. But you can't put links in the fucking chat for some reason. It's really vile what they're doing to me. I know that the listeners want to see this guy peeing all over himself.
Yeah, it's important. It's just, I mean, it's one of those, you've been there before. I never got that far. I always knew you could get that far, but I never got that far with drinking.
Yeah. I
never quite sleeping a stick straight across some chairs in the bar and peeing all over myself.
Yeah. It's so fucking weird. Like I don't know. Yeah, it was
those shots get you, man.
Thing.
They always got the shots coming.
Oh, somebody
I did shots.
Someone got it in the chat. Cyber Sludge put it in the chat. So there is the peeing guy. I don't know how you're gonna get to it because you can't click the link in the chat.
It's hard to chase that one down,
but it's a good one. It's a very good post. One of my top favorites. So what do we got here today? What do we got? I have something here. Oh, so I ended I'm sorry and the world blew up, right? Now everybody's apologizing.
I know.
They're loving it. They love apologizing. So I thought we would do a quick, short I'm sorry here.
Yeah, I would love to. I love the series. I love this idea. I mean, I apologize a lot myself. Like, I don't get things right ever, I feel like. I just am charming enough to gain forgiveness, you know, one more shot, you know?
Yeah. So, okay. Will Smith apologized. And I kind of knew it was gonna happen, right? Like
Yeah.
as soon as what happened. So for those that haven't been on the internet in 3 days, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock across the face on stage at the Academy Awards because Chris Rock made a joke about his wife's alopecia. And by the way, bad joke, number one. Number two, if I'm making some fun of somebody's wife, I gotta fucking think that there is a good fucking possibility I'm gonna get hit. You know? Like you can't operate, you can't like Chris Rock cannot operate in a world where he thinks there's absolutely no consequences to making fun of a guy's wife's condition, you know?
Yeah, I also agree. I mean, I think I think that you have to know that you're provoking somebody, you're choosing to point somebody out. Nobody has to sit around and hear what you have to say. Like someone shared with me today this meme from this stupid ass account that was like, if somebody says something and you're offended, that you've already lost the war because they made you offended. And it's like, no, fuck them. If you say something offensive, I'm going to fight you back. If you're targeting me, like, here's the thing too. If I go to a comedy show, you want to say something about Macedonians, like, I'm not going to get up out of the crowd. You want to say something about hipster IPA dads, I'm not going to get up out of the crowd. You want to say that Brett Payne is like a loser on Twitter and a fail son or something, I'll get out of my chair and throw something. Like, I'm not going to just sit around and let somebody say something about me. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, yeah. And, you know, maybe he shouldn't have hit him and you know, Psychic Gasoline saying you shouldn't laugh at the joke, but like people do things when they're uncomfortable. That like laughing at a funeral is also like a thing, you know? It's like, oh, I think Will Smith was trying to be good natured about it, right? So he laughed, and then his mind went to get my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, and then that's when it turned into like, wait a minute, he's making fun of my fucking wife, you know? And the joke was as
dog shit.
Maybe the one of he said G.I. Jane Part 2. That is like on crack or on speed. Like that is, you could I thought stand.
It's a Britney Spears joke.
Yeah,
like, it's a Britney Spears joke at this point.
I thought stand-up comedians would have said no more. Oh, what's this like The Godfather Part 4 or Goodfellas 2? Hey, is this a Goodfellas 2 situation? You know, like I wouldn't do that joke. It would be one that I would let slide past. It's a bad joke. And
scandal from 30 years ago. Like it was a scandal. Just, oh my God, Demi Moore is so beautiful and she shaved her head. Now, my God, what has happened? She's ruining her femininity. The only thing that makes her a woman, her long hair.
Yeah. And it's so weird because it's like, that's true. Like that, it's a bad joke, which now you got to really be feeling a little bit sorry for Chris Rock in this situation too, because this is like my Netflix tweet. This is exactly like my fucking Netflix tweet that has gone viral to a degree that nothing I've ever done has even come close to going viral. I mean, the last time I checked, it was 6-digit faves, like 5-digit retweets, and it was just about how I was going to cancel Netflix. And the last thing I wanted was that to go viral to normal people that don't listen to this fucking show, because The joke was that I have a lot of streaming services. It was a goofy inside joke, but then it turned me into like the face of canceling Netflix, and it was embarrassing. And I have to think Chris Rock's got to be feeling that way right now. Like the most high profile joke that I have done in years is, what is this frickin' G.I. Jane 2?
Yeah, Zach Fox hemmed him up perfectly too.
Oh, did he? What did he say?
Well, he said basically that he said, you're a comedian, dude. You're supposed to lose and make it funny. He said in that moment, you chose to keep the peace instead of just unloading with the funniest stuff you had to say.
Yeah.
And then he said Cat Williams got beat up by a bunch of kids and told the most hilarious jokes in the world about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really
like
really...
he was at like the Eyes Wide Shut. Chris Rock was doing the Eyes Wide Shut party and was like, you know, trying to maintain the professionalism, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I understand Chris Rock's side of like not doing anything or not throwing jokes out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand why he didn't do more jokes, and that is because when you get hit in the face in front of a room full of people, that is like the one thing that a comedian is not prepared for. If Will Smith had heckled him, I'm sure he would have hit so many funny lines, but Will Smith hit him in the face.
Yeah. You know, and yeah, some people call it toxic masculinity, but you know, I say some women like that. You never know. Jada might have wanted that, you know. I was mostly annoyed that everybody came after Will for forgiving Jada for cheating or for being poly and stuff. That's what annoyed me. It was that like he should have smacked him or Jada didn't give a shit because, you know, whatever. It was all very stupid, really amazing amount of memes, wonderful moment, really not that deep. I just laughed like crazy, and I think that's about as much as I care about it, you know.
Incredibly funny opinions.
Oh my god, just fucking amazing.
Just there haven't been this level of funny opinions in, I mean, it's got to be 10 years. I can't think of the last time this many funny opinions happened.
Judd Apatow said that thinks Will Smith is like a fucking killer. He thinks he's a super predator. There's he's gonna put the pimp hand on him and send him back to fucking hell. Yeah.
Oh no, SE Cup is I think I don't know if she's a liberal or a conservative. I can't really fucking tell, but she had a tweet. Hold on. I'm looking for it now, that said like nobody's talking about the trauma. Nobody's talking about the trauma of seeing violence on their television. And I'm just like, I mean, there's violence on the television all the time. Like the television is technically a violence box.
Yes. I think they've been doing the studies for as long as G.I. Jane has been around, at least, to say that there's like 1 million acts of violence on the TV every hour.
So kids aren't watching the Oscars. I know I never watched the Oscars once. Well, okay, I'm maybe not in the audience because I've never seen it now when I'm 43. But like, I don't think kids watch the Oscars, so it wasn't like they were. This is like when the Super Bowl halftime show happened. That's probably the last time these kinds of opinions showed up with Janet Jackson's titty. I think that's gotta be the last time people had crazy opinions at this level. Opie Radio from. Did you see the video of Opie?
No, I missed it.
You want to hear it? Give me 2 seconds, because it's one of the fucking funniest, one of the funniest things that he's done in a long time. Opie Radio. But yeah, I've also seen a lot of people fantasizing about like who Chris Rock could have been. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. What if Betty White was up there?
What if that's a funny one? I was thinking, what if Joe Rogan was up there? I saw at least 4 people say, what if it was Joe Rogan?
Oh, really?
Will Smith had done that if it was Joe Rogan? That's a fantasy. One guy said The Rock. What if it was The Rock up there? But here's the funniest one, I think.
The Rock can take a slap, though. He's done that his whole career.
Ricky Gervais would.
Okay, I'm going to go back. Here we go.
Ricky Gervais would have been in a body cast if he hosted the Oscars, because he wouldn't have stopped with the G.I. Jane joke at all. He would have went until they dragged him off the stage. And as Will Smith is probably at this.
God, come on, guy. Come on.
He's fantasizing currently.
Come on, man. Do something else. I just don't know what to say. I'm so uncomfortable. You can't like Ricky Gervais that much, man.
Well,
you're not allowed to like anybody else that much. You like want to be inside their skin. Like you just wish you were Ricky Gervais. I can tell. It's all over your voice.
Somebody pointed out to me on Twitter that Opie couldn't fantasize about him hosting the Oscars.
He never said if it was me up there. You're right. And every budget rate comedian on Instagram right now is saying if it was me up there, I would have. And Opie doesn't have the self-esteem.
No. Here's more.
At this point, giving him some Muhammad Ali punches, Ricky Gervais would have laughed in his face as blood is just pouring out of his nose and his mouth. And Ricky Gervais would have just been laughing like the damn Joker right at Will Smith. Ricky
God. No.
He said the damn Joker.
Ricky Gervais, mouthful of blood, teeth falling out in like a waterfall of blood, and just going
telling more jokes, just fucking being like, these are the most brutal jokes that Ricky Gervais would have told his most brutal jokes of all time. So uncomfortable.
Against alopecia? Like, who has that many alopecia jokes loaded up, like ready to go?
I don't even have one. Well, I guess I do now. G.I. Jane 2.
G.I. Jane 2.
Dude, there's
anytime you see a bald person, now you just say, you're going to be a G.I. Jane 2?
There's like 10 seconds left.
Gervais would have understood the moment, like, oh my God, oh, that joke bothered you? And then he would have just had 10 more that were just brutal. No. Ricky Gervais would have been in a body cast.
That is Opie. What his take is.
That was Opie?
That was Opie from
I thought that was like a middle school YouTube streamer, like Twitch streamer.
It does. He's a 60-year-old man, by the way.
That's a 60-year-old man.
It's a 60-year-old man.
I'm concerned.
Oh man, if it would have been Ricky Gervais, dude, it would have been something fucking else. It's the first person I've seen fantasize about how Ricky Gervais is a badass, though.
Yeah,
like a badass fighter type.
He would have been like, Will Smith takes it in the bum from Jada.
Yeah,
right.
He wouldn't have another joke. Number one. Number two, he I don't know. I don't think he's as brave as Opie thinks he is. Or
I don't either.
I can't imagine. Ricky Gervais does not come off like a brave guy. Another person on Twitter did respond and say, "Oh yeah, the tough guy who searches for accounts with 147 followers using his name and posts would definitely do something." It's just crazy. Ricky Gervais, you are nuts. Or Opie, you're nuts. So what ended up? I didn't think that Will Smith should apologize. Now, I understand why he did it, because it's just it was a tough situation, because he should be able to be like, man, fuck this shit, you know?
Yes. It should be a heel turn. This could be a heel turn, but he craves too much. He's too John Cena about everything. He wants to be loved. This could be a perfect heel turn of saying, like, don't fuck with me anymore.
Yeah, don't talk shit about my wife. And people have been making fun of Will Smith for years lately.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like that he's just like a cornball. I mean, I know King Richard is supposed to be a good movie, but the dude hasn't done a good movie in since Men in Black, maybe?
Bad Boys 2?
Bad Boys. Oh, yeah, Bad Boys 2 was good, though. That's or Bad Boys for Life, the new Bad Boys. Any Bad Boys I'm with. If they make Bad Boys 4, I'm supporting Will Smith. But I don't think Will Smith is going to lose any work over this either, or will not have lost any work over this thing happening.
Yeah, it's a bad look. It's not the world. I'm not pitching. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not pitching this is the way the world should be, but the way it is as it is right now, I would have played the game differently for sure. I would definitely I would not apologize and just do my damn thing. And it's perfectly acceptable to slap a guy in the face. It does not hurt. It just hurts your soul hurts so bad. Chris Rock's insides were on fire. He was so confused. and everybody was fucking looking at him. The lights were on and he had to recover. So also he did it brilliantly. I mean, I thought he did a pretty good job of coming back and just saying out loud, "You slapped the shit out of me," was like a good way to break the ice on that. Like, yeah, that definitely just happened.
He wishes he'd taken a swing, though. I think
I
would
know.
have been a guy.
He looked like such a punk, man. He should have I would have just said something crazy and then been ready to fight, been ready to swing the microphone.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I know. And it's like such a fun, like it would have been such a fun thing that happened if two guys just fucking got in a fight on the Academy Awards. That I'd have tuned in next year, maybe. Like that seems so good. If it would have been a real fight, I would have really enjoyed that. So here is Will Smith's apology. It starts out it's a Notes app apology. Not Notes app. It's a
iOS
Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, Instagram.
Yeah. Violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive.
No. Some of it's warranted and necessary.
Sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to be violent.
Yeah.
My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I think that is that's the end to me. You can just stop here, dude. And
that's all that
violence in all forms is poisonous. Because
fuck weird. That, man. That's so disingenuous. You don't believe that. I mean, you still support like American soldiers and shit.
For a guy that
then you're not going to denounce the troops and the wars and the shit.
And for a guy who hasn't like been in a movie without a gun, probably 98% of his movies are him with a gun. I don't know for sure, but he's in a lot of movies where he has a gun. And if violence in all of its forms is unacceptable, then he's got a lot to atone for.
Certainly makes it look very cool. Makes violence look a lot cooler than it is.
Now, here's the part I would not go to. Here's where I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I would not have apologized to him.
Right.
That would have been that I would have apologized to the Academy Awards because I am craven and I like money and they might not let me back in anymore or something. But Chris Rock, I just don't know if he deserves an apology here.
Yeah, I don't know. There's this weird thing of like people are if you go to a show, then the comedian is allowed to say everything under the sun and you have to sit there and take it and respect it. And I don't think that comedy is that way. And I am somebody that performs, and I am somebody that, I mean, we did a show in Washington, D.C. in front of a bunch of like veterans and said all the inflammatory anti-American bullshit that we do and have plenty of walk-ins and stuff like that. So I think you got to be able to just read the room and also don't target one person. Maybe you don't want to really get them rageful. Just stick to general humor, you know?
I also think that what is like, what is interesting, what you said about comedians being allowed to it isn't like you're allowed to leave and go on Twitter and say, I was offended by a thing that a comedian said, because then, you get yelled at for their freedom of speech. Like you're never allowed to be offended or have any behavior that's not, boy, that guy was funny. What a funny guy. Good.
And it's all just to protect their like mean, cruel, dumbass bullshit. It might have just been a bald joke, but the whole concept of comedian is usually just to protect really dumbass Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's
just like, those people want to be homophobic on stage, have somebody get mad about it, and it's like you don't get to pick. There's consequences to the world. This isn't a fucking game. This isn't some sort of video game where you get to make actions and then that is judged on some sort of you were good or bad. Like other people are more than within their rights to react however they want because they're like the rest of us. So who knows whatever you say, what's going to happen. That's why I choose my words wisely. I've never been decked. I've rarely been someone try to start a fight with me. I know what, when, and what not to say.
Yeah, and also like if you're a person who is an edgy just edgy, for lack of a better term, comedian, there is an edge there. And I don't think, I believe that if you're an edgy comedian, like, I think that you're going to cross the line at times, and people are going to let you know about that, and you might have to do an apology and then have me read it on a show where I goof on it. But like, also, if the other side of that is like, it's not edgy if nobody can respond to it, you know?
Right.
It's not dangerous if nobody can do anything about it.
Yeah, and I also, I mean, so I'm not saying that like everybody should get punched. I'm not a tough guy at all. I do not want to be punched or think that it's a way to solve problems. But it's just more brought out this thing of like people are allowed to say whatever they want, and no one is allowed, and they're not allowed to deal with how that makes other people feel. You know, exactly. Like they say you're weak for being offended, but in like you shouldn't be let another person be in charge of your feelings. But you are being a fucking asshole, and you are saying things that are hurtful and cruel. So you get bashed back.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So he goes on to say, I was out of line and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. We don't live in a world of love.
That's not happening.
That's not the world we live in, unfortunately. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees. Well, they don't deserve an apology. And everyone watching around the world. You don't have to apologize to it. That's another
everyone
thing.
In the world.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Every single
people are loving it. It was fucking people were happy for once.
Yeah, I went on and defended you immediately. Well,
people were fucking extremely. You made people so fucking happy. We're going on 3 or 4 days of people just being so happy to talk about something that's not like death. You know?
Yeah. There was this kid that I used to pick on. I picked on relentlessly. It wasn't an all-time thing. He was easy to pick on and he reacted when you did stuff. So one time I pushed it too far and I made this like little fake AOL website about this kid, about how much he sucked. And we were around and I made a joke or something and he like shoved me against a locker and was just like, I'm tired of this and you're going to fucking stop. And I didn't fight him back or anything because I did feel like, well, this is warranted, you know, and that was enough to make me be like, all right, well, I'm done. I'm not going to actually make jokes anymore if I have to fight somebody about them.
It's funny you bring that up because the very first fight I ever got in my life, I got beat up, like really beat up because I fucking like this kid showed up at the park that we were all hanging out at and smoking at and you know, kind of being bad or whatever. And he's our age and he shows up and I just fucking started making fun of his shoes. It's Bobo shoes. These shoes are fucking Bobo shoes. Look at David's Bobo shoes.
Yeah, 4 stripes.
Yeah, just going fucking nuts on him, having the best time of my life, just really making fun of this guy. He walked over and he punched me in the face. And then threw me on the ground.
That's the best.
And I fucking did. I fucking.
You had no idea it was coming. You thought you could just say shit like that.
Yeah, not a single. I didn't throw a punch. And he just got me on the ground. I think he hit me like 2 more times in the face, and then like people pulled him off of me and were like, "All right, you won." And not only was that like humiliating to me, that like it sucks when you're pushing somebody's buttons and it sucked because like I started out on top of the world, making somebody feel bad. Like from my words and jokes. I'm at the top of the world. As soon as that guy punched my face, I was lower than the bottom of like the ground. It was so bad. And I really did kind of quit like singling people out and being mean to them and making fun of them at that point, because it was just like, well, I mean, this guy a guy can't just punch you. That is a possibility in every situation.
Yeah, that's life. I mean, it's there waiting at every corner. Oh, one of my best friends, I don't want to
Oh shit, we lost you, Brent.
Oh, sorry.
You're
sorry.
back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
One of my best friends, and the guy that we know now, I knew him back then too, but we were at lunch and my buddy is like, he's 100 pounds. He was such a skinny dude. And this other kid was 6 feet tall with like sideburns, you know, in about 10th, 11th grade. And my friend is just just saying shit to him. And he says something about, they're going back and forth. And he says something about like this guy's acne on his face. And he grabs him like Frankenstein by the neck and just like bounces his head off the cafeteria table, and he just like goes onto the ground in a slump, and it's just like, all right, I didn't mean that, I'm done, it's not funny, that was not what I meant to say, that was too far, like that was uncool, man, like just immediately just started screaming apologies.
That's true. Mad Rush Outwars in the chat says a lot of people never really had that experience, though. They keep running their mouth, and maybe that's true. But I think like most people who are like aggressively, like, who are assholes, who are you can't be a bully without getting your ass whipped. It just, I think that it's gonna happen. I've seen
fight back
so many fucking times where a guy was just like, I'm fucking bullying this guy, and then just I fucking got knocked out. I saw so many guys get fucking knocked out for being bullies, and like, it would be so goddamn great. Chris Rock, like, kind of, I don't know if Chris Rock learned a lesson or whatever, because people are firmly coming out on his side. But I think a lot of people saw something happen that maybe they've never seen in their life. Obviously, I mean, you're talking about, you know, these people saying like, I can't believe this happened. I got
these perfectly suburban people, man. These like really happy families that, you know, they had a curfew and a bedtime and no video games or anything till they turned 19.
I saw a teacher get his ass whipped when I was in high school for being a dickhead to a student. The student fucking whipped his ass right there in front of everybody. And I'm sure that changed the way because he wasn't like yelling at the kid in a professional teacher way. He was being a fucking asshole to the kid. And the kid ended up getting expelled because you can't fight a teacher.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't fight the teachers.
But it is just one of those things that, like, it feels like maybe there was a lesson there to learn on all sides. I don't think Will Smith should be out punching people. But it did.
He slapped. He didn't punch.
That's true. And it did happen on TV, you know. There's something about it happening on TV that made it okay for me.
It's like, so fine. It's millionaires. Yeah. It's such a dumb thing. If this is like literally like watching Bridgerton in real life. These are people that have wealth beyond our wildest dreams. They're like characters that they're cartoon characters. None of them are real life. They're celebrities, you know, like, fuck, man. I love it. It's great. It's fine. There's no reason to get that deep or to bring all this other shit into it.
Yeah, so that is a little bit of I'm sorry. I want to play this audio here. Andy, no, is that how you say the guy's name?
Yep.
Oh, he had Jordan Peterson on his show.
I didn't know you were gonna bring this up.
Oh my god, these guys. I mean, like, I think maybe what really gets me going about these guys is these are the alphas that only eat meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are the guys lecturing me on being like a Sigma male and I only eat red meat for food and shit like that, you know?
I mean, Jordan Peterson, I can't believe he's even back on Twitter now and posting again after being like the biggest fucking failure in the world. And he's in this video, he looks like an absolute piece of shit. He's so fucking depressed. His life is disgusting and abysmal. And he is out there writing more rules on how he thinks you should live your life. It is just, I mean, from the day we cracked the mics on this show, I've told y'all, do your own research, find your own stuff. Do not believe what we say as anything that is anything besides two dumbasses performing. Like, you know, there's nothing about this. There's no ideology. There's no way to make it through life that's like the best case, like the best for everybody. I can't just jot down these rules. And the people that do that are total fucking fakes. And he's like, And I mean, I live depressed as hell too. So I'm not hating on him, but it's just like, be honest, dude. Just I'd rather see you do a messy room TikTok to break the stigma than to go on and tell people that, like, you know, their lives need to be in order, because your life hasn't been in order for fucking years now, man. You're pathetic as fuck, dude.
I mean, this guy, I mean, he's always crying, and I'm not being macho here and saying like, oh, men shouldn't cry, but this guy's always crying.
I know, he goes for it every time. He's moved to tears by everything.
Every video I've seen of him, he's cried. He's been crying. And
it's him.
If it wasn't these people who are supposed to be alphas and shit like that, then I would be fine with it. But this guy's always telling people how men should be more like men, you know?
Yeah. And then the same with the Andy No guy. He got a milkshake thrown on him and took it all the way to court. Like, he couldn't take his fucking loss. He couldn't take a lump at all. He had to bring fucking fancy boy court into it and make it like a money pissing contest and pretend like there was concrete inside of it, just because he's too much of a wimp to get hit in the face by a styrofoam cup of milk.
And again, if you're doing what he's doing, this is just like Chris Rock here.
Exactly what it was.
If you're doing what he's doing, you're going to get a milkshake thrown at you, and it's just a milkshake. It is humiliating. Last year, on January 6th, I was out taking one of my long walks. I ended up protesting. No, I'm kidding. I ended up coming upon the Stop the Steal protest that happened outside of the Columbus State House. And I kind of was like, oh, I'm going to check this out, because it looked like people were kind of fighting each other, because there were people on both sides and they were kind of fighting with each other. And it was fun. I was like standing there in the middle of it, just like kind of being like, this is kind of, I don't get in this kind of situation ever. And a guy threw a fucking vanilla, I know it was vanilla latte, right at me, covered my whole fucking everything. It was freezing fucking cold outside. And I just took it and went home and changed clothes. Like, that's just, I didn't say, you find out who that was that threw that latte.
I'm suing him into nothing.
And it's part of being. Yeah. It's part of being.
They want to fight. No, they want to fight. They want to be offensive. They want to cross boundaries. They want to be transgressive. They do not think that people can do that back. They're demanding something of reality that doesn't fucking exist. Is that there's going to be a reaction? That's Einstein shit, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, yeah. So here we go. We'll get it started here.
Oh God.
I wanted to ask you about based on your knowledge, your background, your clinical experience.
First of all, can these guys, like, they get all this dark money? Their mics all sound like shit. They're fucking using, they get using like the $4 headphones.
Yeah, the Koch brothers should get you better mics, dude.
I know. See if you can get some mics, my guys.
What is the psychology of this mob violence?
Also, you know somebody's stupid when they say, what is the psychology of this?
Oh yeah.
Like, it's a very psychological thing that I'm trying to get into.
Just back of the napkin. Psychologically, how do you break this thing down? Like, you're looking at this person's mind, you know, you're categorizing it, you're running it through a flow chart, you did a spreadsheet.
Anna Morphing Time got a mailer from Andy No asking for money because Antifa terrorists had assaulted freedom. I got that too. Actually,
that's a valid cause, though. I mean,
well, freedom.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I did absolutely.
American freedom. I'm assaulting American freedom. I live my whole life against American freedom.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the worst. It only works for a very small point of people,
like
small amount,
1%.
Psychology of this mob violence. When I see it, I don't even recognize some of these. They seem animalistic, is what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if you're hanging out with right wingers, you do not want to get in the habit of calling people animals.
They're very comfortable with it. They think everybody does it because everyone they hang out with calls black people animals.
Yes,
at some point.
Yeah.
No, they're worse than animals. They're worse than animals because animals, they just kill to eat, you know? Human.
Is that true?
No.
How does he know why animals kill?
I just saw a badass story about some chimpanzees that killed this like leader that started taking all their shit and stopped collectivizing.
Yeah.
Did you see that headline?
I didn't, but I've seen the stuff about chimps and stuff just killing each other. Like sometimes we just they just kill. I mean, you can't fucking tell me that like every animal like I've seen cats kill fucking birds and not eat the goddamn bird. They just kill the fucking birds, you know?
Right.
Like animals are killing shit all the time and not eating them. I mean, first of all, you can't just eat a bird. Like the whole thing would be a mess.
You gotta pluck the feathers.
Yeah.
You gotta roast it.
Yeah. And it's funny because this guy is saying like animals only kill for a reason. These people are committing wanton acts of violence. And it's like, no, that's not what's happening. They're yelling. Number one, it's mostly they're just yelling at you. Like 99% of it is yelling, and then 1% is maybe somebody punching or slapping you. Which you're at a fucking protest where two diametrically opposed sides are meeting in one place. You need to prepare yourself for the idea that you can't control every single person there. So there's going to be Proud Boys there. There's going to be people that consider themselves Antifa. Those people are both going to be there, and maybe they are going to fight. That is a distinct possibility. You are not just safe because you think there's some kind of norms. Yeah,
I agree. I know I live my life as a completely sovereign citizen, and I gotta say, if I know that there's a group of 100 or 1,000 people that all think the same way and they're about to be together to get real loud and beat on drums and shit, and if I go to say, hey, I disagree, I mean, I'm dealing with a mob of people, you know, like I don't think that there's any guarantees of what's going to happen to me at that point either. I just feel like there's a natural consequences to a lot of this stuff. It's not really that dangerous, but sure, I mean, you put yourself in harm's way if you're going to go and tell a bunch of people that are angry that the police are killing them, you know, to go away and start swinging sticks. Like, I think he got milkshaked when he like rode down with a bus full of people that were shooting paintballs at protesters.
Yeah, he shows up with the
Proud Boys
people.
Yeah, and what
he shows up
Patriot
with the
Front people. Yeah, people that go and take sticks and start beating the shit out of people, and then he films the reaction from Antifa and then sells it to right-wing newspapers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing. He would never embed himself with leftists and find out what their thought processes are. You know what I'm saying? Like he tries to say I'm a journalist who's exposing violence out there, but he would never come with try to talk to us and let us explain why we're at this place. So here we go.
Human beings, they have a twist in them that makes them far worse than animals when they really get going. Well, I think it's. You really want to.
He's crying already.
He's getting started because he hates humans so much. His throat clenches up when he thinks about how much he wants to kill all of humanity.
Yeah,
they're disgusting. He thinks human beings are disgusting. He hates himself more than anything, and that in turn he lets that spill on everybody else. Like that's his motivation. I'm a human. I'm flawed. I'm angry about it, and everybody else should be just as mad that, you know, he's doing the same thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I think? I think it's revenge against God for the crime of being.
That's you, dude. You're projecting.
This is such a nerd thing to say. I think it's revenge against God for the crime of being.
Yeah, I'm just saying this at a Starbucks. This sounds like a fucking 16-year-old Bible meetup at a Starbucks. They think they're revenging against God himself. Oh. Yeah, and here comes motherfucking Kirk Cameron to be like, you know, what the fuck? Oh, we all need to remember that God's love is our armor, and we should never reject God's love.
I watched Discovery Plus has a 3-part documentary thing about Hillsong Church.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Man, that whole thing fell apart, and like it's about to rise and kind of fall. And the college, Hillsong College. There's always a
it's
college.
Such a good scam. College is a good scam in America.
Yeah. They pointed out that like if a church is registered as an LLC, that's kind of problematic.
Nope.
That's where the problems come in.
Yeah, they're like, no,
depending on what they are.
It reminds me there is one chain of thrift stores in Columbus that is for profit. They're not, like the other ones are nonprofit, and they're like, well, as a company that's like trying to make money, we can actually donate more in the long run because we generate way more sales because we price our stuff higher and make more money.
It's the most capitalism stuff I've ever heard. That's great.
Yeah.
That is good capitalism right there.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I mean, we could sell all this stuff for $4 for poor people, or we can make 400 million by selling it, for more.
The creepiest thing about that school, their college, is that like you go to college and they set you down and they ask you questions to see if you are you're either allowed to work with kids or you're not allowed to work with kids.
So just Catholicism all over again.
Well, yeah, they ask you if you've ever had sex, and they ask you if you've ever drank or done drugs. And
they hate gay. They're against gay marriage too, right?
I just don't think they're for gay anything. I don't think they're for any. I think they're just as right wing as any other church that you've heard of. But they are very what's the word? They're just as right wing, but they frame themselves. I think what they do is they put men, women. I don't think they put any trans people on there of different races, like very upfront. So like diversity, like very upfront. And I think that convinces because I heard people saying this. That convinces the people that it's a more progressive church than maybe some of the other, mega churches.
Yeah. So for California people to have black friends.
Yes. And like, it's so weird, dude, because like, I don't know, that school is that college had so many creepy things, and like the people going in. Also, you have to work. They were talking about how like when you're at their college, that's why they said the LLC thing. When you're at their college, you work 60 hours a week.
Oh no,
serving, and you do it for free. Yeah. There was one guy that told a really great story that really cracked me up. He said he'd been running the lights at the Hillsong thing in New York, and for people that don't know, Hillsong was a church who would do shows at Irving Plaza in Manhattan, and they would do like 11 shows on a Sunday. They would not shows, but they would do 11 services on a Sunday. So there would be,
if it's LLC, there's shows.
That's true. And the guy goes like, "Okay, I can't do 11 show. I can't do 11 sermons because
that's a lot.
I'm running the lights. This is starting early in the morning and going into the night. I can't do it." And when he went to tell them that he couldn't do it anymore or he needed help, they were like, "Well, we don't want to pay somebody to do it." Like, okay.
They're like, the Lord needs a little help here. The Lord doesn't have any money. The Lord doesn't have any pocketbook on this earth. I mean, just a promise of afterlife.
When you say street fight megachurch, I can only see two advantages to that. One's free labor and the other one's no taxes. That's like the only two things that I can think of that is a good reason to start a church. And people that start a church and say that they want the tax exempt status, I mean, they always go to jail for tax evasion every time.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah. All right, here's more JBP.
That's really what I think. It's Cain and Cain and Abel. It's like, oh, Abel's your guy, eh? God, how about if I take him out in the field and beat him to death? How do you feel about that? All my sacrifices went unrewarded.
That was weird. That was like,
oh my God.
Not done, but that was very villainous. Now he sounds like just a villain.
007.
Yeah.
He just imagine a guy eating a raw steak and saying this.
Yeah, yeah, it's scary. Like that's sort of the scariest thing about it is like that he's fucking deadly serious, and he also is
This
like
these
he
kind of delusions, man.
he's a freak, dude. He scares me. And like
Religious delusions. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
of all the people on that side, like I've only seen like 2 or 3 videos of Jordan Peterson, but man, he's hard for me to listen to. Like as just the person that I am, he is very like so far away from me in this world in every single way that it is so hard for me to like even relate to him or see him as a human basically.
He's just a problem. Yeah, I mean he takes things too serious onto a level that's like unacceptable. But I think that people, his fans, work themselves up into a fervor about how this moment in time is absolutely important, like we're losing everything and like we're losing sight of God or something. I mean the religiosity of this thing is like, the people that listen to this stuff also say that like they're not allowed to teach religion in college anymore because of cultural Marxism and stuff, you know. Like this guy's also like a fucking professor that is obsessed with Jesus.
I also thought that he wasn't actually I actually didn't think he was religious. I would have seen him as being an atheist is what I would have thought. So when I started hearing him
he's as
say
depressed
Jesus
as one.
Yeah.
He's as depressed as an atheist. I mean, you believe in God, you get away with everything. Like you should be fucking chipper. Like the world is your oyster once you're a fucking white Christian man in North America. What the fuck? What is your problem?
Yeah, let's let him finish here.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's what it is at the bottom of the hell of things.
That's it. He was getting into his crying there, so he ended up crying after that, and and again, I'm not making fun of a dude for crying. I'm making fun of a dude that always cries. I mean,
over
so
Antifa.
much. Yeah,
over his definition of Antifa. Like he just was like, mein Gott, they've denied Christ. Antifa has denied Christ, and he like falls over in his fucking chair.
Yeah. What a
piece of garbage, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get what's up with him. It's totally embarrassing if you're a person that likes him. Like, there's just these people never last long enough. I don't know how they have how you could support. I don't know. It's all fake money. It's all just like billionaire money to keep their dumbass ideas in line.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So I was gonna do one last thing here. I got the Blind app. Have you ever heard of the Blind app?
I have no idea.
So it's where people who work in usually the tech industry can write things and they can write about the place that they work, but it's anonymous. So like they kind of write about what was going on. They kind of write about what was going on at work without people being able to identify them. And they had this thread I was looking through today with your worst interview experience. And I want to read this because it is so wild. This is for the place called Indeed, which is a place we've talked about in the past.
Yeah, Indeed isn't. Yeah,
isn't Indeed the guy laid people off over Zoom?
No, Indeed is like another job finding thing.
Ah, okay.
So, isn't Indeed a job thing?
I don't know what Indeed is. Probably a job thing, I would guess. Let me look it up here.
Yeah, job search.
Okay, so Indeed is a job search site. This guy goes.
So they're like, so Indeed hires people and they're like, listen up, asshole. There's a million fucking jobs on our website. If you want better conditions, check it out.
Oh, wait till you hear their interview. Okay, so pre-pandemic, years ago, I interviewed with a company that used classic police interrogation tactics like something you'd see on Law and Order. The first person came in to set the stage and warm me up. Then a guy came in to be the good cop, followed by the first person, a woman who was extremely rude and was a total bad cop. But it was pure interrogation, bullying, and digging for dirt. They really, yeah, yeah.
They got Law and Ordered.
They did. They got police interrogated. They were using good cop, bad cop, police interrogation, which is also funny because these HR people. Having to play good cop, bad cop.
They were having such a good time thinking this up. They're like, what if we hired like SVU?
Wearing fucking like aviator glasses like in the room, and like guys like holding a fucking cup of coffee and pounding on the desk like, will you give your all to this place?
Like, like some guy goes to him to be bad cop and they're like, oh Ricardo, and they turn him around and they like loosen up the tie and undo the top button a little bit, make him just look like a little more scandalous.
Guy leaves, and then the other guy's like, hey, do you want some French fries? Because like
I'm tired of this shit, man.
Yeah, he gets out of hand sometimes.
I just want this to stop, man. I'm just tired of this fucking interview. Are you willing to take the lowest offer if we give you a Whopper right now?
They really magnified any perceived negativity. I realized I never had a chance. It was the most unpleasant experience I've ever encountered. I felt so disrespected. I actually courageously lashed out and walked out of the room while she was berating me, and later wrote a scathing note to their office. I had zero interest in that job or company after that experience. My only regret is that I didn't stay in the room to speak my mind. I did it loudly while walking away. Oh, brother, we do that. That's
even better
impulse. Yeah.
I don't think explaining yourself gets you anything better.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying, I wish I had squared up and looked them in their face.
Yeah,
some people are just suck as human beings, is what he's saying. And I think every time I've ever done the sort of walking away yelling at people, the only time I ever had a satisfying quitting my job was at the place where I threw the salad dressing at the guy, because I stayed right there and I fucking stayed in the situation.
Yeah.
But the feeling that happened while I was in that situation was, I mean, my whole body was vibrating. I'm surprised I wasn't levitating off of the floor. It's terrifying. All the other times I did it walking away. Like I did it while I was walking away.
Well, yeah, and there's a moment when someone's doing fucked up or being mistreating you in a way, or acting in something that you cannot believe, and you're acting up against it. You know, there's just a moment where you're like, nobody else is doing this. All that matters is nobody else is standing up and saying no to this, because you straight up rolled in here and brought out this whole production on me. And I don't know. I hope I'm the first one, but I feel like you're comfortable doing this because a lot of other people just sat through and put up with it because they were acting that desperate for a job. And y'all need to get slapped in the face like Will Smith did to Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars.
I gotta say, I've never had what's the word? Like an interview where there was a bad cop, period. Like that's not even contentious of an interview ever once.
I can imagine, but I would also in that situation watch the energy switch up and be like, is this really happening? Are they doing like a high school performance on me right now? Am I stuck in someone's little production here? Because this is obviously what they're doing and they're not being slick about it at all.
Yeah. I would definitely, I mean, it would be, really what you want to do is make them feel stupid for what the act they're putting on. That's what I think. Like, instead of just getting up and yelling at them or running away while you're yelling at them, the thing you should be wishing you did is be like, are you guys doing bad cop, good cop, bad cop? Is that what this is?
You just need to acknowledge it out loud. Just say it out loud and walk away.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully they're mortified.
All right. That is Street Fight Radio for this week.
Thanks for being here. As always, excuse me, I couldn't hold it in.
Damn,
that was sucked. Good. God damn it. I should have muted.
OP Radio over there.
We'll be back on Sunday to take your calls, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Watch us on twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio. Hear us at WCRS LPFM in Columbus, Ohio. Add it to your radio dial. There's lots of great stuff on there. It's great to stumble upon. You know, sometimes the Bluetooth don't work, you know, and the radio solves the problem.
True.